Welcome to Stress Free SOULutions with Sarah. I'm your host, Sarah Alysse, a stress management and fitness coach, advocating the world to trust their gut more often. I discuss various ways to manage stress and share personal stories of guest experts who have gone through the same stressors as all of you at home. Hey there, super moms of the universe. Let's play a game called hide and seek. No, not with your kids or that mysteriously vanishing left sock. It's time to seek out you in the everyday hide and seek of life. Introducing Mastering the Soul System, a 12-week journey to reclaim your time and energy. This course is your gateway to finding balance, energy, and joy in every aspect of your bustling life. Picture this, 12 weeks where the words mom and mayhem don't always go together. Rediscover yourself with every breath in our Soulful Mind Weeks. Sing out loud in the shower or car, off-key is absolutely fine, and dance during our Soulful Body sessions, and embrace the quiet whispers of your heart in our Soulful Spirit adventures. It's about time your spirit got a front row seat, don't you think? Join us on this journey. Embrace the harmony between being a dedicated mom and your personal aspirations. Mastering the soul system, because darling, in the noise, find your silence. And maybe, just maybe, a bit of that elusive thing called me time. You deserve to thrive, not just survive. So come on, slide into our world at www.livewellenhanceyou.com/soul system. Your journey back to you starts now.
Angelica Ford is the mind behind Fueled AF. She has always had a passion for fitness and has been a personal trainer for 6 years. She enjoys working with clients focused on weight loss, injury prevention, and endurance athletes. She also specializes in working with people with disabilities to help offer services and facilities that are inclusive to all. She created Fueled by AF protein bites as the solution for her sweet tooth. Like all good Italian treats, it started with a kitchen, one mixing bowl, and an espresso maker. As an athlete and clean food enthusiast, Angelica always looked for something healthy to have with her coffee, after a workout, or for dessert. That is when the sweet, protein-packed treat came to life. As Angelica's family has taught her, great food needs even better company. That is why they proudly support and employ those with disabilities. From their ingredients to their company, it always feels good supporting something so sweet and unique. Angelica, I'm so excited. We randomly reconnected in Logan Square when I was passing through town, and I just love the growth and what you offer to the community. It's so beautiful, and your snacks are delicious. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. I'm glad our paths crossed again. So I would love to talk about the beginning stages because entrepreneurship is super hard. I'm sure you knew it would be difficult at first, but especially with everything you've added on since then, try and go back to the beginning. And what was your vision for Fueled by AF?
Yeah, I feel like the beginning is still so raw, right? Because it wasn't that long ago. And I feel some days I still feel the pain of the beginning, but then I'm like, well, I've learned a lot from it. But before I started the company, it was an idea. And I think, like any entrepreneur, any great idea, your immediate thought is it's going to take off, right? Like, I'm going to make this and people are going to come. And that's halfway true. I don't think I recognized how challenging this industry was that I got into coming from a personal training background and working in that industry for years. That one came more naturally to me. The food industry was a lot more challenging, and I had no idea what I was doing, to put it nicely. But my vision was always clear, and my why and purpose were always the same. I always wanted to help individuals with disabilities find a job opportunity. I always wanted to provide a clean snack. I knew what I was going to do. I had a vision of creating this company where one day I feel we can say that we have the largest manufacturing plant that employs individuals with disabilities, and I'm still holding true to that. But going back to the beginning, I distinctly remember like every little thing was a stressor. There was no comfort at all. And I had no idea what I was doing, literally no idea. People say, like, oh, you just cook in your kitchen, like they love it and you can make it a company. But there is like a very, very big difference between doing a couple batches in your kitchen for friends and family to mass productions for retailers and getting everything up to code and getting into retail. It was very, very different, but we overcame those humps and we've made it a long way.
Yeah. And a lot of people might not know about your backgrounds. Like you suffer a little bit from high function anxiety and you're having hormone challenges and you're juggling a lot to learning how to help those with disabilities manage a kitchen. So, how do you kind of coach yourself through this?
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, well, probably 5 or 6 years ago, I was really struggling and I went to a doctor and they're like, you have PMDD and a couple other hormone disorders. So my hormones fluctuate like crazy. And some of the symptoms are like severe anxiety or I'm like super depressed. And it's an awful roller coaster to be honest. It makes every week very different, like for me personally.
Right.
What I always found when working, through like what's my why or what do I like to do, I always found working with individuals with disabilities to be like a very safe space for me and something I really connected with. So when I started the company, I was like, well, that's the demographic or that's the population I want to work in. So I started Ability Fitness in 2017, so 8 years ago. And I primarily started working with individuals with disabilities there. And I was like, I love this. However, I still struggled and I still worked in a corporate company doing health and fitness, and it just wasn't suiting me anymore. So when I started Fueled, I was like, I'm going to take food and snacks that I love and that are clean and people enjoy. And I'm going to take my favorite people and make it a business. And what I noticed personally for myself was I still have this hormone disorder and I still struggle with some of the symptoms and side effects of it. But like when I found my purpose and things that like got me out of bed or that like rechanneled my anxiety into things that are functional for my daily life rather than stressing over things that, realistically I probably didn't need to worry about. I found that I was way more balanced in a really weird way. I have a lot more stress now than I've ever had before. However, in a weird juggling sort of way, it works for me. I'm very able to channel that nervous, anxious energy towards productiveness. I'm a little bit better at giving myself grace when time is tough. It can be hard and it's a very lonely world. No one ever talks about how lonely entrepreneurship is. It's like an extremely lonely world. And if you're going through things on your own, it makes it even harder. I recently met another founder and we were expressing some of the same symptoms we have because she has the same hormone disorder that I have. And it was like really nice to know someone else is in my category,
Yeah.
in my space. But it is hard. It's really, really hard. But I think when I tell people about it, I'm like, you have to find a why that's bigger than what's going on around you, and you're going to be on a much better path.
Yeah. It probably feels good, like having this purpose now. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I still love my personal training clients, but I hear you. Like when I started doing more stress management coaching, because a lot of my clients, and I'm sure you see this too, have this stress from work. Some of my clients were entrepreneurs, and I just saw them go through it every day because things are out of your control sometimes. You can't keep pushing even though you want to, and you have to be okay with being like, well, let's see what comes in. And it's a very difficult journey. But what have you noticed are the similarities between like from personal training to owning this business with Fueled by AF?
That's so funny because the other day I was like, it's so different. I was losing my mind. Okay, so there are certain things that I think, like, in the foundation of a good business, always are going to work the same. And I tell people this all the time. Like, early on in my personal training career, I was very successful with it because I'm a personable person. Like, I get along with people, I can connect. I'm very good at working with different demographics. I'm really good at navigating different personalities. And what's something I didn't realize in the food industry is like I have to keep those core abilities that I have with how I do in personal training into the food industry. I'm working with buyers, I'm working with vendors, I'm working with delivery drivers. Like I have to understand each one coming in the door and making a good relationship with them, or else my business won't function. The other thing I learned is you don't have to do anything completely exceptional or out of the ordinary to have a good, successful business. Sometimes we get really fancy or we're trying to create something totally different and out of the norm. And sometimes when you get so far away from it, you won't actually connect with the people anymore. And I remember early on, I was trying to like, when I was making this product, I'm trying to explain, which is on a high level, 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio and like all these things, because that's where my background is. I understand the science of it, but like I couldn't connect with the customer anymore. So I had to learn, right? It's like you and I explaining a squat to a client. We're looking at it in so many different realms, right? But then what comes out of our mouth has to be diluted and in layman's terms. And I had to learn how to do that to market fueled. Like when I'm talking about a product, right? Like this product's good for you because you have clean, healthy fats. You have a good source of plant-based protein. It's okay to have carbs, like I'm explaining these things that the carbs not coming from junky sugars. However, sitting there breaking it down in scientific terms, like how I would view it as a person putting the recipe together, I have to make it sound appealing to that customer. So there was a lot of crossovers in like how to tell a story and how to get a customer to buy in and what is like my ground principles for myself, like what attracts people to make them want to come to me. And I just stuck with that. I mean, there was hiccups along the way, don't get me wrong, but once you kind of weed out some of the noise, I got really good at figuring out, okay, this is what the people want. This is why they like us. And I think the hardest thing that entrepreneurs have a tough time with, or like everyone, you feel like you should be for everyone. And that is the last thing you want. I was in a Target Accelerator program and they asked you, what's your target demographic? Like, who do you sell to? And they said that anytime someone says everyone, they immediately throw their application away.
Yeah.
Because you're not for everyone, and that's okay. But, you have to learn that. Sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, totally. And it's funny too. In one market, you might be specifically for this demographic. And in another market, it's like for my stress management, I find that women are my avatar and it just works better because I can understand like where they're coming from. But for fitness, for some reason, I have more of a male following that are my avatar. It just is interesting how all of that changes also over time. Like people could be attracted more to Fueled by AF maybe later down in life, later on in life, or could be geared towards 30 somethings. But you need to know, you personally have to have that vision of like, this is where this needs to go because I see that these people right now are the ones that enjoy it the most. And you have to be okay with it, right? It's hard though. Sometimes like, oh, I do want it for these people, but they're not attracted to it at this time.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the hardest ones I kind of learned is like we're helping individuals with disabilities find a job opportunity or, I'm personal training them. And it's hard because there's some people in this world that are just very bitter, they're rude, and they don't care. And it's kind of hard. Like, that's my whole workforce. I'm serving a purpose, as in, like, I'm helping them find a job, right? I put them on the front lines. Like, I want them out there selling. I want them making the product.
Yeah.
Some people just don't care and they're just bitter and they're going to say things that are harsh and rude. And I had to learn how to set a boundary. Like, these are not, like, even though they're buying stuff from us and they're helping our company, like, I either need to say something and educate them because I believe in educating people first before cutting them off. And sometimes I do actually get a long way with that. But if people continue to not, you know, understand, we can't serve them and I have to cut it off because what it ends up doing is like attracting more people like that towards their company and it's not good. So yeah, that was hard to learn as an entrepreneur is setting the boundary for the right customer. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure with clients, you get clients in and sometimes you just have to like say like, I don't think I'm the best match for you. Like I do think you're a great client, but I don't think I'm the right person to work with you.
It's one of the hardest things too, because you always want business and you want people to feel also included. And then when you notice what they're wanting, they're maybe asking for this magical pill that doesn't exist, or I should say
Yep.
like exercise regimen or nutritional plan, and it just doesn't exist in your eyes, but maybe someone else can help them with that. And you have to be okay saying, hey, this is not working out. Now, I was wondering, how did you discover that inclusivity with people with disabilities can also be exceptional business performance?
I learned that while I was training them. While I was working at a different corporate company, personal training, I was, as we had spoke about earlier, I was really, really struggling with a lot of depression and high anxiety. And I could not figure it out. And I'm not saying volunteering is the way to figure this out, but like through my own self discovery, I was just like, I was on that college swim team and we had an adaptive college swim team that came after. I would volunteer and help, and I like just loved it. So I started volunteering at this non for profit, and I would go there for 3 hours a week and teach fitness programming. And I would just work out with them. And I was like, you know what? I have people that are paying me excessive amounts of money to come work out at a very expensive gym, and they had zero appreciation for what was happening, right? I
Yeah.
would go to a gymnasium with a parachute from the 90s, which, by the way, is such a fun workout. Yeah, like old dodgeballs, and we would like create workouts, and I would go ask people for donations. Like, hey, if you have like exercise equipment at home you're not using, like, well, would you be willing to donate it? And then I would bring
Totally.
it in and we'd all work out. And I was like, okay, first of all, the number one thing was appreciation, right? Like, if someone appreciates their setting and what they're doing, they will work hard, right? You
Mhm.
have higher retention rate. It's not about how fast you go, it's about how well can you retain this person? What's their satisfaction and their job place? And so then I quickly realized, like, they really appreciate what we have going on, and then there's no, like, thrills and foof to this. Like, we're literally turning on music, and I'm dancing around the room, and we're having fun, and they get it. So that was the first step. Then the second one, I was asking them, it was COVID, I had group homes on. I think I had 84 individuals with disabilities on a Zoom call, and we were doing workout classes, and I unmuted it one day, and I was like, "Who wants a job? Like, who wants to work?" Because I'm just curious. If you get 84 people on this call, right?
Yeah.
I wish I recorded it to this day. That was like one of the things I wish I did. The overwhelming yes that came on the other side of this call. I'm like, okay, I think I got it. Like, I have a good product. I have these bites, and I have the right people. Now I just got to take their ability level and turn it into something we can do. And that's what I did. And I realized very quickly, like, okay, maybe we're not learning or speeding up as fast as someone else, but my turnover rate for employees at Fueled is so low because they love their job and they show up and they get it done. This
Yeah.
week, in 5 hours, we made almost 600 jars of our Dubai chocolate butter. Last week, we made 5,000 protein bites. And, like, we're not joking around, we're doing a really good job, like, when you
Yeah.
start looking at the numbers of what we're producing, we're doing a really good job, but it's because we all consistently show up, and I'm sure you talk to your clients about this too, right? Like, half the battle is just showing up.
Yep.
The rest of it is just getting the rhythm down, and that's all we work on. And I realized very early on, like, we're super efficient. We're really good at our jobs. And we're really good at it, not because we're doing something extraordinarily different. We're really good at it because we show up, we have fun. Like, we're a cohesive team, and they appreciate being there just as much as I appreciate them.
And I love that. It's honestly what you're doing is incredible. And, I think a misconception in people is that those who have disabilities are able to function in that kind of environment. And I think that's so unfortunate because it's also leaving a lot on the table for those that run a business. Like, you could be helping someone, like, find a purpose. And
Yeah,
I'm sure you've given these people like more reason to work hard, and they want to work for you. It's really beautiful.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I do some consulting for other companies, and I cringe when I hear Yeah, like, I just have them, like, stack the papers in the corner. Like, why? Well, that's, like, I think that's all they can do. I'm like, "That's all you think they can do."
Right.
Like, let's flip the script a little bit because I can do more. But,
Mhm.
a lot of people have this belief that they can only do X amount or they can only understand, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. They have, like, at our kitchen when we're working, we talk about life, right? And they have boyfriends, they have girlfriends, they have a whole life outside of this. Most of our employees actually work 2 jobs.
Wow.
Yeah, and, like, they're not joking around, like, they go to day programming, so that's kinda like, in a way, think like school, like, they're doing life skills, communication, job coaching, all these different things, and then typically they work a job anywhere from 2 some of them do 4 days a week, some of them are up to 5, but most of them range from, 2 to 4, and then what people don't realize is they're all actually I think all but 2 or 3 of our employees are in Special Olympics. So they rotate sports. So almost every day of the week, they're doing a sports activity. And then on the weekends, they travel for competitions.
This is like the most driven people,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, when I was hiring other people, it's like, okay, what are you doing? Like, I want to know if we're getting well rounded employees,
Right.
disability or not. Like, I want to know you have something else going on outside of this. I
Right.
truly believe in the saying, like, hire a busy person
Yeah.
because they're going to be structured and get it done. Like, all of our employees that work for us, disability or not, like, they have other jobs and they have other things going on. And they're not like, oh, I like to go to pottery class on Friday. It's like, I'm in dental school. I'm starting my own business. Like, I am here for it because I know you're motivated, A, and
Yeah.
B, like, you're going to be structured, right? Because you have to get your things done.
Yeah. And when they're with you, they're working on your
Yeah.
business. And then it also probably helps them with their own. So that's really cool. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I know that your products are delicious. Like, I always believe that when I have people on my show, it's like things I've actually tried and I enjoy because I want to promote really good people behind the businesses, but also quality products. And your protein bites have nut butters, are gluten free, vegan, and it's packed with purpose, as we have talked about for a lot of the show today. But I want to know, what's your favorite flavor and what story does it tell about your brand soul?
My favorite flavor. This is hard. It's like choosing a favorite child. It's not right. If I had to go the nut butter route, it's the maple pecan crunch. I had to stop bringing it home because I was eating like a jar and I was eating the profits of the company. So we stopped taking that one home. The maple pecan crunch butter is unhinged. It's unbelievably good. And then when I go for the bites, I love the cinnamon raisin, like, love the cinnamon raisin for breakfast, and then if I'm going for dessert, it's fudge brownie. I'm a chocolate girl. But what soul, like, what do my favorite flavors soul-wise?
Yeah.
Okay, that's tough. So, I let my employees choose our flavors. They come up with them. Sometimes they're a little, like spinach artichoke dip. It's a no. We're not making that into a bite, but it was a good thought. But they come up with the flavors. And my whole purpose is like, if they want to, I want to make something that they enjoy. Anyone, who has a child with a disability, a family member, like they will tell you they are super picky or they have some sort of dietary restriction.
Right.
So when I was volunteering and I was making these bites for myself and bringing them in and they were devouring them, I was like, okay, I think like I have a really good product because if they'll eat it, then I think most people will. And I got like a 3-year-old's approval, which is like a stamp of gold, if you ask me.
Yeah. But
But like the soul of our company is to really amplify and show off individuals with disabilities. And, they're very creative. They're very good cooks. Like they're sitting there taste testing next to me. Sometimes we get it so good that one day I had a camera set up while we were like, recipe testing. And every time I turned to grab another ingredient, they were like eating it out of the bowl. I was like, guys, like we can't do that. But I need this for testing. But it's all on them, honestly. They do a wonderful job. And I really try to, like the maple pecan crunch one is a huge hit. but it's also so simplistic, but so good. I went to a local spice house and they gave me some stuff and I was like, give me something like no one buys. And gave me maple flakes. And I was like, oh, these are really good. And I called a roaster and I said, what's the nuts that no one's buying at the time? It was pistachios and pecans to butter them. And so I put them in the pecans and it came out decadent. So I was trying to teach them how to like pair certain spices together. And that's the one we did together. And I think it's amazing.
What was the first one you experimented with when it was just your own?
We discontinued it. We had a chocolate peanut butter. That was like the first one. So a lot of people are seeing this like as certain original flavors on our site are going away. The flavors are slowly disappearing, and it's not because we're going out of business. It's because 3 years ago I developed my own protein powder, and it's finally coming out. So all the bites need to be changed. But what this protein powder is going to allow the customer to do is take the bite and bake it like a real cookie dough.
Cool.
So you can eat it raw or you can eat it baked, like warm.
Neat.
Yeah, but we had to finish up the packaging. Like, I don't want to keep printing packaging if the label is going to change. And the cool thing about the new protein powder is it's got less ingredients in it, no seed oils in it. It's very clean. So we're excited about it. We all tested it. Of course, they ate it out of the bowl. But yeah, no, that's how flavors work. And I just started with chocolate peanut butter and then they kind of picked and choose from there. I do suggest a little bit of guidance because we do get customer feedback and I'm the one writing it down. But for the most part, it's
What would you say you're most grateful for from this business?
there's a lot of things. But honestly, like the community that you get when you're sitting in, I call it entrepreneurship hell. Like once there's certain people that come out of the woodwork that you like would never expect, right? Like they just show up and shine for you. And I think I'm extremely, extremely grateful for that because there's days that are really dark. And you're like, I don't know if I can do this much longer. And it's like whenever you're in the darkest time, like someone will come out and help you. The other thing too is I think we're really making a great example for other businesses to hire people with disabilities. And I love hearing the feedback of, people call me like, I hired someone, with Down syndrome or autism. And like, it's amazing. I'm like, oh my God, this is great to hear. So I love to hear that we're examples for others. I really appreciate our community and our people who support us since day one. I mean, people are really go above and beyond for us, which it means a lot.
I'm so grateful to you for coming on and saying yes when I ran into you. It's one of those things like on a site, I just was like, oh my gosh, you have the most amazing business. And I do buy your products. So it's like, what a perfect opportunity for us to like reconnect and do this today. I always leave the interview with this last question because I feel it's so important. Stress has horrible impact on us, but it can also be a very positive impact for us. So how has stress saved your life?
That's so funny. Like I was saying before, I have like this hormone disorder and I can get stuck in a really deep rut or I'm like functioning at a different level. But the stress that's come from this business, some days it's not great. But some days I'm really like, if I didn't have the pressure to keep this business moving and going, I think I would be in a way, way darker place. Stress is not always great. I don't agree with that. But when I'm working with clients or when I'm talking to the girls in the kitchen, like, guys, I know it's hard right now, but we're doing something big. Like, this is what we wanted 6 months ago. If I was not doing things right or I was doing things really wrong to the point we're going business, that's bad stress. My stress right now is because we're growing and we're doing a really good job at it. So I don't think stress is necessarily awful, the demon or the awfulness, but if you're using it in the right ways, you can do a really good job with it. It's just not every day is easy.
Every day is changing, but it's amazing that you're growing and I'm just excited to see where you guys go next.
Thank you. I'll show you guys.
Yeah. So where can people purchase your products and connect with you personally?
Yeah, we have our online store, fueledbyafsnacks.com. We recently launched on Amazon. We're #1 in our category for our nut butters. So this is huge on Amazon. So if you guys buy from Amazon, please leave a 5-star review because Amazon weighs them heavily. And then if you want to connect with us, the best way to do this is on Instagram or our newsletters. We're kind of reframing and reshaping how we do newsletters. So go on our site, plug in your email, and we're going to be doing newsletters like meeting the team and showing you guys kind of what's coming up. We have a lot of new stuff coming in, which I'm beyond excited for. Most people don't know this, custom order all of our manufacturing equipment to suit our team and suit our products. So there's a new machine coming in, which I'm very excited about because it's going to make a special product for us. But yes, we want people to connect with us on Instagram or newsletters because that's really where we show a lot of who we are and behind the scenes and connect with others.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone, please connect with Fueled by AF and also make sure you share your takeaway. I'm going to collaborate with Angelica on Instagram. So that's a great opportunity to say, hey, I would love to purchase your product, or hey, I bought this. It's delicious. So I hope you really enjoyed this episode like we did. And remember that on this journey, we all need to speak well to ourselves on the self-love journey.
Thanks to Dan Lieber at Beckett Brown Music for the intro and outro music. You can keep in touch with me on Instagram at Sarah Alysse Coaching. If you're looking to improve your health and wellness, check out my business, livewellenhanceyou.com. While you're there, join the Live Well Enhance You email list and receive exclusive offers for our wellness programs and events. Until next time, take care.